and welcome to Talk About Life with T. Yes, we're going to just go ahead and dive right in. Welcome back. This is session 3, actually, of the election series. And so we're going to go ahead and talk about it because I got a lot of comments and they was really interested in me kind of diving more into the propositions. And then so we're going to just go ahead and take a few of them today, and hopefully I can answer some of the questions that you may have as we talk about the propositions. So if you're moving forward, you may want to have your big election book out that kind of talk about the different propositions, and you may want to go ahead and have that out, which is the book that I showed you before, this big book here. And it has all of the propositions and stuff in them. So as we move forward, we can go ahead and then you can follow along. So I would just say just go ahead and get that book out, and then so we can go ahead and kind of follow me along with the propositions. Because the propositions that we're going to talk about is kind of the ones in the book, and then some that you may say, you know what, I'm really not clear on. But anyway, moving forward, we're just going to kind of dive in. And the first one that we're going to look at is Proposition 51. And Proposition 51 is actually about school bonds. It's about school bonds for K through 12th grade and also the community college. And the bonds are kind of where you take bonds out and you have to pay them back, and then you have to pay them back with interest. And then so as this here 51 is kind of just talking about, okay, we want to go ahead and we have schools and stuff that we need to go ahead and we need to make sure that they want to get a bond to go ahead and refurbish some schools, kind of the schools we have there that kind of worn down. They want to, kind of do reconstruction on them and bring them back up and all those issues there. Okay, and so as we look for this, in this here proposition, it says that they're looking to give like $5 million. Okay, 500 million. Not $500 million, to go ahead and to refurbish the schools and kind of bring them up to code, and then so it's like, okay, so as they're talking about this, here's what they want to do with the Proposition 51 is to go ahead and do that. So, but then moving forward, it's like, okay, we have a bond already. When they say the people that's, that's against it, they says, okay, we've already spent 146 billion dollars since 2001 that was approved back in 2001 that was supposed to be used, to kind of bring the school up to the buildings and stuff, up to code and to make it where they're much more nicer and they're much more up to date, and then so we've already spent so far $146 billion on it. And then in the June election, we approved another $5.5 billion that's supposed to go for the same thing. And then so you just have to kind of ask yourself, moving forward, okay, this is the money you spent. So where is the money going? Okay, we got all this money here that's already spent. I mean, you just have to ask yourself, in your neighborhood, I mean, are there schools in your neighborhood that that they've been in there and they've been kind of bringing the school up to code, doing reconstruction on the buildings, or doing any kind of work like that of the schools in your neighborhood with this money that's already supposed to have been spent for that? So you just have to ask yourself that question. Also, a yes vote is saying, yes, we're going to go ahead and allow another $500 million to go towards the schools and structures for K through 12 schools and the community colleges. And the no vote is saying, okay, well, you with the money that's already spent, use that money. So you use that money, and that's pretty much what 51 is about. And then so we're going to go ahead and then we're going to look at 52. Okay, and 52 is the medical hospital program one that they have, and it extends, the current medical for Medi-Cal. And with this one here is just saying that on the taxes that they have, like a hospital tax, a hospital fee, I should say, not a tax, but a hospital fee. And on the hospital fee, what it does is the money that's generated from the hospital fee goes towards the matching funds from the federal government. So they matching. So you're talking about, you have like, what's that total? Just make sure you get the totals, and I have the totals listed here. $3 billion. Okay, so it's $3 billion that's supposed to be raised from the fee. From the hospital fee, and which is the matching, and then it gets matched, with the federal dollars, and then it allowed to be able to provide services to, children, millions of children, seniors with disabilities, handicapped individual, and low-income families. And this has already been renewed 3 times already. So already in the past, it's just kind of 4th time it's coming up on the ballot, and so you have to decide if you want to go ahead and kind of approve it so they can continue to do the work. If you know people that's getting Medi-Cal, then you can kind of just talk with them and about their service and stuff like that. And, a lot more people is getting Medi-Cal services, and so so that's one thing you just have to look at moving forward. So if you vote yes for it, you're saying yes, go ahead and continue to give that $3 million, into the fund that allow us to continue to provide services to, the children and the seniors and disabled and the low-income families. And then if you vote no, it says no, we're not going to allow that, and then we're going to go ahead and just find some other means to go ahead and make sure that these individuals get that kind of service. So that's basically it for 52. As we go to 53, which is the statewide voter approval initiative. And this one here is mainly a proposition that required voters, the people. The cost for it is like $2 billion. Okay, the physical impact is none. I think this one here is it's basically what it is that for the different when they want to go ahead and the people, they have a project that require the people to vote on a project. So if they have, like, say that the project that they want to fund is $2 billion or more, it's saying that you need to bring it to the voters and let the voting people decide on whether or not that should be spent. And basically what it just kind of says, okay, when you bring it, you got to show, you got to get a whole breakdown, the cost of, okay, how it's going to be spent, so the actual, what's going to be spent, how it's going to be spent, and the hope on the project, you kind of bring it for the people, and they get to look at it and see, okay, this here is acceptable, and they go ahead and approve it. In emergency situations, it really don't apply, so you don't have to worry about, that it'll hold up if we have an emergency situation, because it doesn't apply. So that's basically what 53 is about, is that when they want to spend more than $2 billion on any project, that they need to bring it before the voters and let the voters look and see, if it's really needed. We don't have a lot of projects that come to that amount. But in case we do, that's what the voters would like to have. So if you vote yes on it, you're saying yes, that you support, and that people should vote for it before they go ahead and spend $2 billion on a project. And then no vote says no, the government can continue to just go ahead and spend money on projects of this amount here, and don't need to have the input and stuff of the people. And they just continue to do as they're doing presently. Then we go to 54. 54 is a legislative and proceedings one. This one here is basically where they talk about, okay, whenever that, before they vote on an issue, they first got to go ahead and they have to put it in a paper. They have to have it in print. They have to post it on the internet and stuff like that. 72 hours prior to them voting on any given bill. So if they, so meaning that if they're going to vote on a bill, they need to put it in print, to post it, on the internet, so we the people can look at it and see what are they voting on. And 72 hours would allow, if you have any input on it, that you probably can also give input on it as well. So that's basically the gist of the Proposition 54, is to, before they vote on a bill, that they have to put it in print, they have to post it on the internet, and then on the internet, so get everybody a chance that wants to look at it, is there, but it's been posted 72 hours prior. The cost for this here, they're looking at it'll be an average of like $1 million a year to, for the cost of posting it and publication and all that kind of stuff. But it speaks to transparency. You get to actually see exactly what they're doing prior to them doing it and know that they're actually acting in the best interest. So it's just kind of a matter of transparency. So if you vote yes on it, you're saying, yes, I want them to have to post it 72 hours prior to any vote they're going to do on a bill. And then no is kind of saying, well, no, they don't have to do it, and we're not looking for them to do that, and we'll find out what they voted on, whatever bill that is, later on after it's done. So that's kind of just something to think about when you're looking at Proposition 54. So then we're going to go to Proposition 61. Proposition 61 is a proposition where they talk about pharmaceutical and the cost of increase in drugs, and like 12% is gonna actually benefit from it, and 82% is not going to benefit from it. The cost for prescription drugs is going to go up, and so that was interesting to me, because if the bill is saying that we want to regulate folks, that they can't charge whatever they want for a medication, that it needs to be regulated, that a pharmaceutical company can't say, okay, charge whatever they want, like like the EpiPen, for example, it was just low price, and then it went up to from in the 30s to in the 700s, just for an EpiPen, but he did it because he can do it. When they had the issue with the one of the AIDS drugs for HIV and AIDS drugs that they had, that was reasonable, and they went up to like $1,500, and he said because he can. Okay, and so what it does is just kind of regulate, what that they can't just charge whatever they want to charge for the prescription drugs. So, but he had a lot of controversy, saying vote no on it, vote yes on it. Hey, you have to decide. But thing is if the measure is to say voting yes to regulate, so they can't raise the prescription drugs, it has to be regulated, then how would they be able to, why would 82% of the population end up having to pay more if the actual proposition is saying no, you no longer can charge whatever you want to charge. Okay, it's going to be regulated. So I don't know. You have to figure that out. Now you just have to weigh and kind of see, because again, it is what it is, basically, when you look at it. You get a lot of stuff that talk about, different measures, proposition, and then it talks about that. So, just again, that's basically the gist on 61. Okay, so just tell me, what you think about it. If you have any other propositions, I'm going to kind of go through them, continue to kind of go through them. If you have some that catches your immediate attention, please comment below and let me know what what they are, and what your interest is in it, and then so we can kind of talk about it and bring it up, because it's very important for us to be able to really understand again, and we need to vote. So like me, tell me what you think, comment below, and subscribe. Okay, and then I should go ahead and be back again, so we're going to talk about it, continue to talk about these propositions as we move towards the election. And remember to vote. It's very important that we vote. Again, thank you. Have a good day, evening, and night. Goodbye.